The conflict tracker here on India Today, which we're updating every single hour with new pictures, new analytics and new graphics, gives you a sense of just how this unfolding story is changing. I first want to show you what this currently looks like. Just take a look at what the situation currently looks like. The conflict zone itself. The conflict zone itself is this. I want to show you what it looks like right now. This is the area of operations. Everything is concentrated right here. Remember, we've just shown you breaking news about attacks happening by Israel against Syria as well. The West Bank is painted in red over there, but Gaza is that tiny little green thing. That's where the ground invasion is going to happen. Now I'm going to show you what. Okay, let's go to the West Bank. Okay, there you go. Let's just go in a little closer to the West Bank, and that's where Jerusalem is, Ramallah is. This gives you a clear view of where the other site of potential operations could actually take place. Because remember that Gaza is one Palestinian territory, the West Bank is the other. Could there be operations there as well? Let me show you what is happening in Jerusalem now. Okay, this is Gaza. This is Gaza, like we showed you, 41 kilometers long. And these are all of the Israeli sites that surround Gaza. Many of these cities fell victim to the rocket attacks by the Hamas, who were firing from inside Gaza. So this is what it looks like. The conflict tracker is going to be constantly updated. We're going to show you more and more images. And remember, some of these details will be changing every single hour. So we will constantly, on an hourly and a daily basis, bring you the very latest data, the very latest maps, how things are changing, and what it's going to look like moving ahead with this ground invasion. Notion I touched upon in the first half of my show was about how the tactics of the Hamas have been one of the deadly learning experiences of the October 7th attack. One of the most visible of it has been the use of paragliders. It's become one of the most viral aspects of it. Paragliders, which are things that you and I may have used in the past during adventure sports. These easy to use, easy to train on devices were used to deadly effect in a terror attack. What's this report by Mosmi Singh? This is not a dramatization. This is to show you just how easy it is for everyday commercial equipment to be used by a terror group to do what it did.
Israel faced one of the deadliest terror attacks in its history. As hell rained from water, land and air, one of the most chilling images were of terror being unleashed from the skies. Powered gliders, Hamas militants raining in fire and fury from the skies at a music festival. Now, India Today, in this special report in the next few minutes, will take you through how a sporting equipment, a sporting adventure sport, in fact, was used to unleash terror and make one of the most deadliest terror attacks possible. These are what powered paragliders are. You can see that this equipment is right here.
There is a difference in between being a guerrilla and using a poor man's weapon as a paramotor. Whereas compared to the Israeli army and the Air Force, even if they had the special forces people who are trained paracommandos, special forces, but they needed an aircraft to jump in. They needed a helicopter to jump in. Here, they did not need anything, and they did not even need to be, trained paratroopers. They were just coming as a passenger sitting in this paramotor, and which could not have been, picked up by the radars. Came in at a very low height of 1,000 feet, and came to pinpointed accuracy to the point where they wanted to land and make their attack.
let's take a ride and we'll try and make you understand that those minutes in the air, how the maneuvering was done, what was the on-air time, how much is the loiter time. We'll try and understand all those things. We are using multiple cameras. We are using a 360, we are using a GoPro and multiple cameras to give you a 360-degree view of this takeoff and a ride. And after we come back, then we'll try and explain to you how this entire sequence of events actually unfolded. Importantly, you can see that there's a motor and that's been switched on. Behind the motor is the propeller. And this is being handled by the pilot who is behind. While the one who's seated in front, the hands are free. You have a 270-degree view from the left to the right. So now we take off. Let me tell you that when we take a run, it's just about 6-8 feet you have to run, and then you are already airbound. Even the landing doesn't need much space. But you can imagine that when these Hamas militants were trained, then this is a one-way ticket. They were training for a one-way ticket. You didn't have to really bother whether they had a proper landing or not. Right behind me, you can see that the power glider is actually landing. If the motor is off, it doesn't make any sound at all. And here you can see that how he harnesses the entire direction of the glider. So very smooth landing there.
The sound factor, in case I want to be more discreet, I can switch off the motor and still land like this, depending on the proficiency level of the pilot.
Okay.
So it becomes more covert kind of operation wherein there is no sound at all.
Clearly, the power glider was not only trying to demolish or destroy and harm the Israeli population, but it's more of a psychological warfare of sorts that no matter how trained and how new age your technology and resources are, the Hamas militants have just smashed the entire Israeli formidable security system into smithereens. With video journalists Satya Rotre, Himanshu and Sanjay, this is Mosmi Singh, and that's all in this special report from Manesar for India Today.